the key behind any industry, any product, any service is like having a community of people, of raving fans that just love you or that speak highly of you or that want to collaborate or be a part of what you do. That is sort of the secret sauce I see for any leader, is to create the mindset, to create the culture, to create the team, to create the product and services that basically create the magnetism that really people want to be a part of.
Welcome to the KayaCast, the podcast for cannabis businesses looking to launch, grow, and scale their operations. Each week, we bring you interviews with industry experts and successful retailers, plus practical tips and strategies to help you succeed in the fast-growing cannabis industry.
Welcome to the KayaCast podcast. I am your host, Tom Mulhern, and I am so excited for this week's episode, which is my conversation with Matt Ritchey, who is the CEO of Inner Circle. Inner Circle is a community of cannabis business owners and leaders who are utilizing the Mastermind approach, philosophy, Mastermind groups to really help develop leaders. And we focus primarily on this type of leadership, but really you can apply this to any type of leadership development for your team, whether that's you as the business owner or your management, your bud tenders. Developing a team is so important. You don't have to use the Mastermind approach that Matt shares, but having a system in place to develop your team, to get your team from, that scarcity mindset to a mindset of growth is so key. So I really hope you enjoy this interview with Matt Ritchey and the insights that he shares about leadership development. Matt Ritchey is a passionate and innovative business growth strategist with over 15 years of experience in driving impactful results for small and medium-sized businesses. As the CEO of Inner Circle, a vetted and private community for leaders and advocates in the canna and alternative plant medicine industries, Matthew empowers companies to unlock their potential and achieve long-term success. So Matt, welcome to the KayaCast podcast. I'm so excited to kind of jump into some of your leadership strategies and your mastermind strategies, all of that. But first, tell me a bit about your background and how did you get started in cannabis?
I had been working in the executive coaching space, working with teams, Facebook, Airbnb, some other fast growth startups that we were working with from 2014 through 2018. And that type of work was something that I had, really loved doing, transformation, working with people to see the changes, to see their communication barriers drop, to see their results and their KPIs soar as far as being better communicators, being better team players, being better humans. The vision was basically to offer up my skills and what I've been learning in other industries to this space because it was in desperate need of leadership, trusted community, and collaborative work efforts. So we naturally just started to connect with people. That's my background, is really good connecting with people, hosting events, collaborative conversations, and then masterminds. If you're not familiar with the mastermind concept, something I've been participating in and hosting for over 15 years now. The mastermind concept is really just good people getting together, holding space for each other, and everyone gets what we call a hot seat, which is basically you get to get on and say, hey, this is what I'm up to, this is what I'm needing, or this is what I'm challenged with currently. Do you have any resources or do you have any feedback on this current challenge that I'm experiencing? We basically bring high-level people together to ideate and mastermind on their biggest challenges. The intention of this community is really to create leaders of high integrity so that we can steward the best processes, the best services, the best products into the mainstream.
I want to dive a bit more into that mastermind concept. So how does the mastermind concept work in the cannabis community?
Everyone's looking for people that have their back, right? We all want a community of people that we can trust, that we can lean on. It's really just a community of people who have each other's back, who share resources, who have an abundance mindset. Like I say, it's not scarcity, it's not competitive, it's abundance, and it's collaborative. And honestly, most people just have never experienced it and just have a scarcity mindset around their ideas and their whatever it is they're producing. And once you get around that scarcity mindset, most people are very open and actually find high value in the mastermind concept. The only conversation I hear around leadership in this industry is how shitty it is and how they hate people that are leading certain companies and how, yada, yada, yada. There's all this victim, negative, yada, whatever. That's fine because there is a lot of truth to a lot of that. We stand in places we can have impact and we don't focus our energy on things that don't affect us or that we can't have impact on. So we're here to basically be that community for these leaders, for people to grow and up level their game so that they can be the embodiment of what they want to see within the industry as opposed to just bitching about it.
What is the most important mindset that a leader needs to have to thrive in this industry?
I don't know that it varies industry to industry since I've worked in a few industries now. I think kind of goes back to that growth mindset, the abundance mindset, the belief and the perspective that I'm skillful, I have value, that I can collaborate and connect with somebody, and a 1 + 1 = 3, right? A synergistic mindset. The scarcity mindset says, I'm going to do my own adding 1 + 1 = 2 and build and build and build. And the growth and abundance mindset says, hey, like who's synergistic around me? Who in my peripheral can I synergize with that can help me grow faster? So the people I see that are most successful in any industry, but specifically even in this industry, there are people who are open, who are collaborative, who have that kind of growth mindset, who aren't hoarding all of their information or holding all of their community. And I think that's the key behind any industry, any product, any service is like having a community of people, of raving fans that just love you or that speak highly of you or that want to collaborate or be a part of what you do. That is sort of the secret sauce I see for any leader, is to create the mindset, to create the culture, to create the team, to create the product and services that basically create the magnetism that really people want to be a part of. And people want to be a part of something that they can feel like they can share in, right? That they feel like they're a part of, that they feel like they can be, engaged with. And I think the best brands really build communities that really reflect that. And I think that's a top-down leadership thing from whoever the CEO is really starting that culture in the company.
So if there is this leader that has this growth mindset, what are some practical ways that these leaders can then incorporate some of these concepts into their business to help it grow?
If you were to instill the synergistic mindset, collaborative mindset within that group of people that are building that business, and that could be like, say, them knocking on doors to connect with other local businesses, or you connect with your local groups to speak on stages, or even invite other businesses that are ancillary to collaborate on marketing, stuff like that. So really getting into your communities, I think that's where most people will get the most traction. Of course, you can do a lot online. Like I say, there's a lot more people to really dive into or to dip into that pool of people. But if you're able to do that, if you have a physical brick and mortar business, you almost have to do that. As a leader, you get to find who those synergistic partners are, communicate clearly with them so they can feel the win-win, high energy value, and then take action. Say whether that's a marketing campaign or that's an event. There's tons of different ways you can do it in a brick and mortar setting that's similar to what you can do in an e-commerce setting, and all of them are collaborative. All of them are growth and abundance mindset thinking, and it's really about connecting with the people who are similar to that. Like say, you're going to find a lot of people who are not similar to that, who are still scarcity mindset, still in that old paradigm.
The industry is tough right now for dispensaries, for growers, for ancillary companies. Like it's so easy to fall back into that scarcity mindset. What are some like maybe practical advice you can give to someone to shift out of that scarcity mindset and think forward and think synergistically and look around them and foster that growth?
The people you surround yourself with, 5 people spend the most time with, is really going to identify what you think about, how you think about things, and how you act upon things. So if right now you're feeling like you're in a scarcity mindset, and no one really wakes up and says, oh, I'm in a scarcity mindset, because most people just don't know they're in a scarcity mindset. But if you were to identify that you are kind of cutting corners, you are not necessarily looking out for those win-wins, surround yourself with people who do and or are, because that's the best way to learn. It's like a language, right? If you're going to learn Spanish, travel to Mexico and get thrown in the culture for a year or a week or a month. And you'll learn Spanish a lot quicker than if you sit at home and do Rosetta Stone, right? So find the community of people who are already doing big things or doing things that you want to be doing. That's my biggest thing, is like, whether it's a coach, whether it's a business person, whether it's anybody, like find somebody who has the results that you want and go find them, or, either hire them to work with you, or hire them for a consulting session, or take them to lunch, or do whatever. Find a group that they're a part of and find other connections like that. The best way to get out of that scarcity mindset is to really surround yourself with people who lift you up. Because what I find is most people don't want to be in a scarcity mindset. So when you're in that space, it's really challenging to make that shift. But if you're in that mindset of wanting to shift, really find a great group of people that can really lift you out of that and inspire you daily. So we find we have a lot of solopreneurs, of people who are, they're the main person, they're doing 80% of the work, and they may have a team that does some marketing, or they have a virtual team that does some tech work, but they're like the ride or die only person in the company. And when that's the case, it's really challenging day after day, week after week, month after month, to stay inspired, to stay in that energy. And you really need to have other people to bounce ideas off of, to even, like say, just to be inspired some days. Sometimes I need to be inspired, right?
The 5 people you spend the most amount of time with is what shapes you. So on a staff team, how can they identify people that would be perfect for this growth culture, for this positive change that they're trying to bring to their business?
Well, It takes practice. You cultivate your own, right? You start your own. And it always starts within. If you can't start to change other people or ask people to do things that you're not doing like that as a leader, that just doesn't work. That's not leadership. So start within. And then if you're interviewing people or when you're talking to people, just listen. Be a really good listener. And the thing I listen for and the thing I'm trained in is language. It's like, what are they speaking? Are they speaking negatively to themselves? Are they speaking in future unrealistic terms? Are they speaking in, victim negative past mentality? How are they speaking? Like, what's the language they're using? Are they saying they're trying things? Are they saying they want to do things? Or are they speaking in positive, actionable language? So when you really get that embodiment of who you want to be and the mindset you want to cultivate as a team, that's when you'll obviously start to attract them more, but then you'll be more attuned to like, oh, I can feel this person's energy as far as where they're at.
Just one more question. What's one tip that you would have for a cannabis business to grow?
Fastest way to grow your business is probably just surround yourself around, like, say, really skilled, awesome people in whatever industry you're in, and then lean on them for support. Building that human capital team is the quickest way to really grow anything. Outside of that, if you're only yourself, starting things off, find something and iterate it. Just find, like, say, most people find something that they want to sell and they start to sell it in the way they want to sell it. And sometimes that works. Sometimes people really love that. Other times you need to pivot, or other times you need to really take that, whatever that first iteration is, and build upon it and evolve it. And I think that's what a lot of people get kind of stuck on. They have a vision and they had a product they wanted to launch, but it was for them. And so not always is your target market or the customer really going to respond to whatever you want. So as you're starting to iterate, start small, like I say, get it out into the marketplace. Most people overanalyze, make it want it to be perfect before they launch it. And then they spend months, years, and lots of time and money to find out that's not exactly what the market wants. And so I would say people, get your product out there, get your service out there, iterate it, figure out what works best, really dial it in, really niche it into what is working. And then, like I say, the human capital, as far as surrounding yourself around these types of people that can really help boost your brand or boost whatever it is you're doing. That's the goal that I see for any of these small businesses, is really to have amazing humans around them with great skills, and then just be diligent and be unattached. I think there's a lot of ego into whatever we originally created, whether it be a service or a product. So if you can really put your ego aside and let the iteration and let whatever the market is telling you be a driving factor, that's going to get you there a lot quicker.
How can people get connected to you and maybe some events that are happening this fall? Like, what are some ways that people can join the inner circle and really be boosted in their business by what you guys are doing?
If you go to innercircle.biz, you can kind of check out what we're at. There's an apply button there. The application is super simple. It's a couple questions, and it basically gives you a 15-minute conversation with me. Within 15 minutes, I can tell where you're at, what your business is, what your vision is, and if you're a good fit, if you're a good synergy for whatever our community is building here. If you're here in Southern California, we host events pretty regularly. We might be at an event near you, or in a city or near you later this year and into 2024. You can check out our latest events calendar right there. We believe a rising tide lifts all ships, and we're really here to build the harbor for people to sail into.
This sounds like a great community, and this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you sharing the concepts of Mastermind with me, and I definitely want to dig in more. I know Tony Robbins and other people are big into this, and so you've definitely lit a fire in me to find out more about this leadership style and growth style. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time on the podcast here.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, Tom.
Well, I know that I really benefited from that conversation, especially the whole thought around finding those people that lift you up, having those positive voices who are really going to encourage you to succeed is so key in business. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing. And if you're interested in being a part of the inner circle, make sure that you head over to their website. We've got links in the bio, and sign up today. They've got a vetting process. They only let people in the community that really want to be there. I also want to encourage you to head over to the MJ's website, because KayaCast podcast and our company Kaya Push have both been nominated for MJ Awards, MJ BizCon, and we're super, super excited and honored to be a part of this. So voting is still happening until October 15th, and you can go over and vote for us and for your favorite cannabis business as a way of just kind of saying thanks for what we've been doing here with the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, for subscribing, and we'll see you back next week with more conversations about how you as a business owner can grow, scale, and launch your cannabis business.
Thanks for listening to the KayaCast podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast in your favorite podcast app or visit our website to learn more about our guests and to access the full archive of episodes from the show. Join us next time as we continue to explore the world of cannabis and help you grow, launch, and scale your business.